What is snapping, collector cultists? Collector Tyrant here again today, and today we have two new Funko Pops from the shelves. These are brand new Dungeons and Dragons Funko Pops that have just been released recently, I guess, and I'm here to do a review on these two right now for you guys. If you guys want to sit back, relax, and sit down, and let's see how this review turns out for these two Funko Pops right here. Alright, boys and ladies, before we start this, I want to explain something. Apparently this pop here, the Minsc Boo, Minsc, whatever his name is, that was not released. I asked the guy if they had some in stores. There's tons of these available, and he reckons it's coming out next month, which makes no sense to me. I don't know why they're releasing them like that, but they have decided to do that. I couldn't get my hands on one of them. So that one will be missing today, unfortunately, but I will put it in the playlist in the future, so if you guys want to check that out later on, there will be a playlist of all of the Funko Pops I'm doing. And any singular ones I pick up, I'll do a quick review on those and chuck them into that playlist. Also today, guys, we do have, for those who don't know, video, and if you guys don't know about that, if you guys are newcomers to that, basically it's like a mini segment video I put in for any first wave Funko Pops. For people who like watching these videos but don't understand the franchise, it's like a couple of minutes of a little segment I put in there so people can understand the franchise and enjoy the video and sort of understand what I'm talking about when I do these reviews on Pops they don't know about. Alright, so we're going to get to that right now if you guys want to check it out, but if you guys just want to watch a review, I'll leave a timestamp right here somewhere and you guys can skip ahead if you want, but I suggest you watch it. It takes a long time for me to make those little segment videos, so I'd appreciate it if you guys do watch it, and we're going to get into that right now.
Dungeons and Dragons, also known as D&D, is a fantasy role-playing game originally designed by Gary Gygax and David Arneson that was published in 1974. The game is played by multiple players that each play as their own individual character and must work together, completing quests, campaigns, and tasks given by the Dungeon Master, also known as the DM, a player who serves as the game's rule maker and storyteller. Before a game must commence, players must create their character, firstly by determining the character's ability scores, which consist of strength, constitution, dexterity, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. There are many races to choose from: human, elf, gnome, and dragonborn, just to name a few. The player then chooses a class for the character. This could be a barbarian, ranger, or sorcerer, the list goes on. Then the player's character has a backstory made for them, and then they are ready to play. The game is played by the players, playing through the story and battling monsters and foes, with the characters gaining experience points, or XP, and new abilities along the way. D&D games are usually played over time, with one adventure lasting a few hours or more, and campaigns can go for weeks, months, or even years, with the players coming together weekly or monthly to continue gameplay. D&D's gameplay involves the players making choices or actions, such things like attacks, opening treasure chests or doors, etc. The DM then determines the result of the action taken. Both players and the DM use different dice to roll for actions and outcomes of those actions. There are 6 types of dice that are used in D&D for different situations. For example, the 20-sided dice, which can be used to determine hits in combat, and is the main dice used in D&D. D&D is usually played as a tabletop game, using pieces to represent the characters and enemies. Depending on budget, tables can be simple grid paper, maps on a horizontal screen like a TV, or epic handmade terrain tables that look fucking sick. As for the pieces used for the characters and monsters, well, that also comes down to budget. People can use tokens or cardboard cutouts, or models bought from another tabletop gaming system, like Warhammer or War Machine. D&D also supplies their own licensed cast figures that you can paint yourself. Or if you really want something unique, you can use a company called Hero Forge, where you can customize your own figure, giving them unique poses and armor. Once you're finished, they then 3D print it and ship it to you. Here's something I made from Hero Forge a few years ago for a campaign I was playing. This is a barbarian dragonborn I made, and his name's Plump Jobs. So you can pretty much customize any character you want from this site, if you have the money. For over 40 years, D&D has been a well-known RPG brand, and has featured in popular TV shows and films, such as E.T., Futurama, Freaks and Geeks, The Simpsons.
We played Dungeons and Dragons for 3 hours, then I was slain by an elf.
The 70s Show, Big Bang Theory, and Stranger Things.
We're deep shit.
There are many well-known public figures that have dabbled in D&D over time too. Such celebrities as James Franco, Dwayne Johnson, Mike Myers, Kevin Smith, Gerald Way, Trey Parker, Marilyn Manson, Chester Bennington, and Vin Diesel, just to name a few.
I am Colder the Witch Hunter, the 800-year-old immortal.
I should also mention they made a movie on D&D in the year 2000, but it was epic trash. Over 40 years later, D&D seems to be ever growing in popularity, and Funko has taken note. So, let's get on with the review.
Alright guys, I don't know which one to start with because these are both pretty epic. But we're gonna, I guess we'll start with Asmodeus, or whatever his name is, Asmodeus. And we're gonna check out the box here. It's just a typical sort of box. They've got the logo of the dragon in the background from the Dungeons and Dragons symbol. The box is, you know, pretty bland, but man, who cares? There's a set on the back there. I'm hoping to get that guy in the future. Really would have liked to pick that guy up, but unfortunately, as I said before, couldn't get my hands on it. Right, so we're gonna waste more time. We're gonna get him outside the box. Have a look at the details on this badass. Alright, check him out, guys. Not a bad pop, this one. Really nice looking one. Tons of detail in the head there already. Look at that. Look at all those nice sculpting. Nice sculpt work in the face. Really good. Eyes are red too. That's a massive plus for me. Really suits this pop too. He's very menacing. Now, for those who don't know much about Asmodeus, he's like an archdemon. Basically like the master of hell and stuff. He's a very powerful sorcerer. And he's good with spells. As you can see there's his little staff. That's called the Ruby Rod, I believe. I think it's called Ruby Rod or something like that. But that's that little feature there, the little staff he holds. And this guy is actually quite massive. I reckon he would have been better as like a 10-inch, I think. Because this guy is actually like over 10 feet tall in like the lore and stuff. He's meant to be this gigantic beast, but not too bad to start off with this small pop. Hopefully he's really popular so we can get more of them, because I really like to see some more stuff from this franchise. But at the back here you can see the hair. It's a nice sculpt in there. You can feel every bit of that texture in there. Really epic sculpting in the actual cloak itself. Yeah, you can feel all that. It's really sick. Another thing I do like is the fingernails on this one. You can actually see all the fingernails, like very sharp nails. He's very demonic, so it very much suits him. These hands here really look good. As you can see at the front here, we've got tons of like leather bits coming down onto the actual cloak itself. You can actually feel all those little dots there as well. And you got some on the actual arms as well, so you can feel all that. Also, he's got some earrings, as you can see there. And the big thing for me is the horns. I really do like these. Nice amount of detail on the horns there too. Alright guys, on to the head test and stand-up test. And the head test for this guy, it's got a full 360 going on there with the head, so he can be posed if you want him to be posed outside the box. It's quite a nice one there actually. And his stand-up test is pretty decent. And there's tons of flat base there to stand on, so he will stand up perfectly fine outside the box. So not too bad, this one. Nice colours on this one too, not too bad. It's actually really good. Really good pop, this one. Super stoked to be holding it in my hands. I've been waiting for this release for a while now, so it's really good. But we're going to move on to the next one now, and that is the Mind Flayer. Alright, up next we have the Mind Flayer. Probably my favourite one of the lot, if I'm being honest. Very Cthulhu-esque. I'm a big fan of Cthulhu. I just love the octopus look to it. I don't know, it's just something I like. But the Mind Flayer is something that reminds me of that, and this one looks like it's going to have tons of details. You can see all the warts there. For those who don't know much about the Mind Flayer, they basically use powerful spells that affect the mind. They use telekinesis, and they eat people's brains and stuff like that. So they're really creepy creatures, and I really do enjoy them. But we're going to waste any more time here. We're going to get him outside the box and have a look at the details. Alright guys, here's the Mind Flayer. Check it out. Look at all that texture in there. Tons of little warts and pusticles. They've sculpted the head very well. Look at the back. You can see all that. Yeah, look at that. That's really well done. Really good. Really sick. I like it. Eyes are coloured too. Very dim, sort of grey eyes. Very soulless looking creature. Looks like he's got like a... I don't know if you can see that, but looks like he's been glued. This piece here, the tentacles have been glued on the face there. So it actually is a separate piece, which is good because that looks like a sort of like a mouth underneath. Same sort of features going on with the hands here too. He's got like these really long dark claws. So yeah, same sort of thing going on with the last one. The thing I love about this one though is the cloak. There's like individual pieces of cloak flowing down there, as you can see. It's very fan sort of look to him. He's got tons of stuff going on with the clothing here. Got this little belt buckle with the skull, and he's got a chest plate there too, offering some sort of protection, I guess. If we turn him around, you can see that cape at the back there. Not too much going on here. There's not a lot of texture, just very smooth. But we have got one little piece here that's been torn apart. Yeah, very rough around the edges. Alright, Mind Flayer up next for the head test and stand-up test. And this guy's head is very static. It's, you know, it won't get much movement there. You know, the tentacles do hit the face, so you can't be posed, unfortunately. Anyway, but that's alright. Stand-up test for this guy, and he's got, once again, a flat base with all that cloak that's pooling down on the ground there. So he's got tons of balance and strength there, so he can stand outside the box if you want to take him outside the box. So, yeah, these both are really well structured, I guess. Really, really nice stuff. Really good. Yeah, epic pop this one. Really like this one. Yeah, that's going to be it. We're going to move on to the next part, which is the rating. So stick around for that. Alright boys and ladies, now is the time when I do my rating on this, and you guys should know how to do this. If you're newcomers, I'll explain it quite quickly for you guys. Basically, I rate this out of 2 parts of 5 and equal those 2 parts of 5 out of 10. The first part of it, I look for any defects on these pops individually that came from the factory from my collection, and I rate it out of 5. And then for the next part, I rate out of 5 how Funko went about designing the pops for the franchise. And in this case, it's going to be Dungeons & Dragons. So that's how we're going to work it today. So let's start with some things I did notice. There's a few things going on with the paint there that's not too good. You know, there are like mold lines on the arms there. You know, just dirty bits of plastic that I like to see cleaned off. With the nails and that, you can see some paint dripping off onto the actual hand itself. So, you know, things like that is just like nitpicking, I guess. But, you know, I do take tiny bits of score for stuff like that, because it is a product I do pay quite a bit of money for. So I'd like that sort of stuff looked after. But that's not going to be a bad score there. I'm going to give that like we'll give that a 4. I'm going to give that a 4 for these two. The quality's, you know, it could be better, but it's not overly bad, if that makes sense. Alright, so we're going to move on to the next bit of this review, and we're going to take some pan shots outside of these pops and talk about some stuff in a recap and finish this review off for you guys. Alright, we have 2 decent pops here from Dungeons & Dragons. Looking at them aesthetically, they're really well done. When I saw the release of these, well, the pre-releases, or the leaks, I definitely had to get these guys in my collection. But yeah, they're just really, really cool characters. Asmodeus is just amazing. It's a well-designed pop. As everyone knows, I always talk about this. I will always talk about this. I'm not a fan of generic faces with Funko Pops, but this guy is good. He's got that really epic face, and he's got tons of detail in the face and horns, and he sort of stands out from the crowd with those red eyes. And that stance too. The stance in both of these are actually really good. As for the Mind Flayer, same sort of thing going on here. Well designed, nice pose, nice head on this one. It's definitely one of my favorite ones out of the lot, and I just really enjoy this pop. Really nice colors too. And both of these pops actually with the red too, with the last one. Yeah, so really, really nice pops. Nothing really to complain about. If you're a fan of Dungeons & Dragons, I'll be picking these up as soon as you can. Hopefully they're popular enough to bring out more stuff. But I'm going to give that rating probably 5. You know, they're really, really well designed. So for a total score there, that's going to be a 9 out of 10. And that's not a bad rating. And these really are really nice pops. Really hoping to see more in the future from Dungeons & Dragons. Then they've started off quite well. But anyway, we're going to leave it there for today, guys. And if you guys enjoy the video, you know what you have to do. You can drop a like if you wish. Go check out the channel if you want to subscribe. Just check it out, see if you like it. If you don't like it, you can do what you like. If you really want to help me out, you can share this video around with friends or any communities out there that do like Funko Pops on any forums and stuff. That'd be really helpful. And yeah, that's going to be it for me today. You guys have a great weekend. And for you collectors out there, keep on collecting, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, collect Tyrant out.